So we've taken our next step in this infinite journey of enlightenment. A series of events have taken place that has brought us to where we are right now. This is the most important time of our lives. It's in this very moment which exists prior to a thought that we have the potential to be. Being exists in this moment, in this time, and knowing, seeing, feeling, and experiencing all that there is right now. Stay tuned as Ron Ash teaches how to locate our special gift, connect with spirit, and intentionally create our experiences.
Do you have a special gift that you'd like to share with the world? Then consider broadcasting your message on BTRN. The Being Talk Radio Network is local, national, and international broadcasting with powerful programs that enlighten minds and change lives. BTRN hosts are passionate about purpose, motivating listeners to confidently move forward in the direction of their dreams. To host a show on BTRN, call 401-640-GIFT. Become a part of the Being Talk Radio Network today and contribute to positive change tomorrow. We are BTRN, the Being Talk Radio Network.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. The Intuitive Life Coach takes a metaphysical approach to life coaching, identifying root issues, accessing key problems, and formulating a highly effective approach and resolution. Through proven coaching techniques, the Intuitive Life Coach will help you to move confidently in the direction of your dreams. Author, counselor, teacher Ron Ash is the Intuitive Life Coach. Call 424-777-LAWS or connect online at theintuitivelifecoach.me.
Westside Yoga is the premier yoga center, committed to the integration of body, mind, and inner spirit. Whether you choose to participate in a single class for $10 or sign up for 2 weeks of unlimited classes for $35, Westside Yoga will help increase flexibility, alleviate stress, and improve memory and balance. Westside Yoga, 511 Broadway, Providence, Rhode Island. Visit westsideyogari.com or call 401-228-POSE. Westside Yoga, Yogana. Feel great.
All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair on Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel, Warwick, Rhode Island, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The event features Sherry Lord, International Channel, Sheila Marie, Forensic Psychic Medium, CBS Radio's Behind the Paranormal with Paul and Ben Eno, ghost tours, psychic readings, group readings, and more. All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair, Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Visit allhallowsevepsychicfair.com.
Experience the power of being. Join author and intuitive life counselor Ron Ash on an infinite journey of enlightenment. Being explores the various modalities associated with self-help and spirituality. Master divine guidance, connect to source energy, and expand your consciousness. For a complete list of our affiliate stations and showtimes, visit beingwithronash.com.
Hello and welcome to Being with Ron Ash. I'm Ron Ash, your host, and we are the Being Talk Radio Network, live and local, national and international, on great stations worldwide. For a complete list of our affiliates and showtimes, visit us online at beingwithronash.com. That's beingwithronash.com. Today you are Being with Ron Ash. Sean, Bianca, and Elizabeth Hanley will be joining us, author of No Problem, How to Focus on Solutions. I think solutions are really so important, and so many people seem to get caught up in the problem and neglect finding the root of that problem and then setting forth a plan and moving towards a solution. Don't you think, Sean, Bianca?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as a woman, we talk to our girlfriends, ad nauseum, and over lunch or dinner about problems that we have in our life, and we never come up with a solution. Men, I think, are more attackers of a problem, but I think women like to talk about it, and we have more difficulty in finding a solution. So I'd love to hear her take on it.
I had a business for 17 years, a chain of retail stores, and one of the things, and going into it, when I found a problem, it wasn't something I was happy about, but I would get so excited about formulating a solution, really getting down to the root of the issue, begin that problem solving process, and then it was such a euphoric feeling once I finally got myself out of it and into smooth sailing once again.
Right, exactly. No, absolutely. I mean, if you can find the solution easily, it's great. But sometimes problems aren't that easily solved. I wish they all could be, but yes, I mean, you feel like you've just come up with a cure for cancer when you solve a problem going on either in your life or in business, and but no, it is euphoric when you do. I mean, I used to be a teaching tennis professional, and sometimes people understand things differently, and so a lot of times I would have to think of maybe 5 or 6 different ways of fixing their problem with their certain stroke. And I have to say, when I finally said it the right way so that they got it, it was like, oh, yes, I did it. And so, yes, I mean, it is. It's a great, great feeling.
So really communicating to the other person what the problem is really the hurdle many times. And, in business, it's more or less a black and white type of thing. The numbers are off. There are some internal things we talked about on the last show about the relationships in the workplace and how those all have an effect on everyone who is involved. But with people, sometimes it's very difficult, and many times it's the people that are closest to us because they're going through something, and if we don't really know exactly what that is, and they're not communicating to us, we're kind of left with our no course of action. We don't know what to do. We are aware there's a problem there, but where do we go from there? I mean, if there's not an open line of communication, honesty and being forthright about what's happening in their lives, there's really not much that we can do.
I agree. I think problems with business are more easily solved because it is black and white. But when you're dealing with other people, exactly, you're not a mind reader, and so it has to do with communication. And if they're not communicating, then it's difficult to figure out what the problem is that you're having with that person, be it a mother, father, or a romantic interest. And so it's not quite so easily taken care of.
Yeah, all of the above. And with ourselves, that's a big issue for many of us. Myself included. Sometimes there could be something going on in me, and I'm not aware of it. And this is transpiring into all these different things in my life that are not making me happy, making me feel good.
Right.
Causing
Absolutely.
me to be on the path that I want to be on. Well, let's bring in Elizabeth Hanley. Hello, Elizabeth, from Australia.
Hello, everyone. Yes, hello from Sydney, Australia. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Very interesting. Hello, how are you, Bianca? How are you?
Fine, thanks. Great to have you.
Yeah.
Great to communicate with you.
No problem.
Where
How
are
to
you?
focus on solutions. She is in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and I am in New England, Rhode Island, the biggest little state in the Union.
Oh, Palm Beach, lucky.
Actually, I'm thinking I've always wanted to go to Australia. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, mine also.
I don't think they have any problems in Palm Beach, do they?
You know what? In Palm Beach, it's funny. I ran into a friend yesterday, and she said it's almost like a dream world, and it's true.
It sounds like it.
It is. It's almost like a dream world. Everyone has their perfect little houses and their perfect little families, but if you really dig deep, it's not so perfect. In fact, when I moved here, I was quite surprised that it was anything but. So it's not all it's perceived to be. But Australia, you're where it's at.
Yeah, I'm very interested in getting out there as well. So
yes,
I think
definitely.
it's Palm Beach and many other places, people are just unaware that there are problems sometimes, or the people around those people look and say, wow, this person has a perfect life, but really they don't know. It's a facade. We all have problems. We all need to learn how to deal with them. How did you first come to write this book, No Problem, How to Focus on Solutions? What was the driving force behind it?
Well, actually, I'm a research librarian, and I didn't actually set out to write a book. I set out to give myself a happier life because I was struggling through a lot of problems and I was unhappy and stressed. And you know that old saying where misfortunes come in three? Anyway, the first one was
I
the
often
place
wonder
where
if we manifest that because we expect it.
Well,
Good
maybe.
point.
I managed to manifest all three.
Okay.
The place where I was working, we were told 1 in 3 of us would lose our jobs because of the economic downturn. The place I was renting was up for sale, so I had to move out. And my boyfriend stopped ringing me. So I wasn't very happy. Can you beat that?
Oh, my gosh. You really did have absolutely everything go wrong at once. Oh, poor you.
Oh, it did. Actually, I was so fed up at work one day because everybody was distressed because we didn't know who was going to lose their jobs. We knew that 1 in 3 of us was going to go. And I went home early, and I actually turned the TV on, and I'm not normally home around lunchtime. And guess who was on? Dr. Phil.
Oh.
Dr. Phil was actually the catalyst for this book. He actually asked a question. He was near the end of his show. I'd never heard of Dr. Phil before because I was at work when his show's on. And he asked a very interesting question that I've never forgotten. And he said, if you were a business manager, if you had a business, and your manager was running it into the ground, would you keep hiring them or would you fire them? Well, naturally, you'd fire them. And then he went on to say, well, you're the manager of your life. Are you getting the results you want, like happiness, success, and health? Would you keep hiring yourself or would you fire yourself? And I'm like, oh, I am so fired. I am so fired. And have you ever asked yourself that question, either of you?
That's a great analogy. And
it is. I thought it was.
I actually haven't, but thinking about it.
Yes.
Well,
you are your own life manager. If you're not managing your life, who is?
The important thing about it is that taking the blame for, what we have at this present time, not blaming other people for where we're at.
Exactly. And I was sort of blaming the economy for the job losses and blaming my boyfriend for me being upset, and I decided, well, look, I'm going to manage my life a bit better. And I ended up, of all places, at the local library in front of the self-help section. There were a lot of books there, and I just wanted one on problem solving. You just want a book, you want to read it, you want to get on, you know what I mean? Anyway, there wasn't one on problem solving. And I'm thinking, great, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. So what I ended up doing is I ended up reading as many self-help books as I could get, and I looked for information on problem solving from each book. For example, Tony Robbins, you've heard of him. He was a big author in the U.S.
Absolutely.
Anthony Robbins? Yeah. I remember when I started reading his book, it's 500 pages. When I got to the middle, I'd forgotten what I read at the beginning. So I had to go back, and I started taking notes. So about 200 books later, I had this folder full of notes. And I thought, well, this is a lot of stuff to remember. So what I did is I put them under 4 simple tips, what I have classified as 4 simple tips. So you remember the tip, you can remember all their valuable advice. So that's actually how the book came about.
Interesting. That makes sense. I mean, you should be an expert 200 books later, reading on problem solving. Obviously, you should be an expert by now. So, yes, I would definitely read your book.
Well, it took me 3 years of reading and taking notes. It was worth it because I'm a totally different person because I was blaming and expecting life to make me happy and wondering why things went wrong. I don't do that anymore. I know exactly why things go wrong. So, yeah, that's actually how it came about. I wasn't intentionally looking to write a book. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, we have to watch out. Very slippery slope we could fall into that victim circumstance, and everybody's after us, and it's everybody's fault, and poor me, and then we start to get addicted to those feelings and emotions, and we need more of them. And I think, Sean, last time you were on with me, you were talking about a friend of yours that actually was going through that same thing. Sean actually has a blog called "I'd Rather Be Single for Now."
Huh?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes,
I like that.
Right.
So she talks about a lot of her experiences, dating, and the different relationships that she's been involved with. So interesting stuff. I'd rather be single for now. We do have a caller that has a question, Elizabeth. Let's go to area code 909. What's your name and where you calling from?
Oh, hello. Yes, my name is Carol, and thank you for taking my call. This is fascinating. I'm going through where there's a lot of changes coming into my life, and I'm having to pack up my house, and I'm kind of stuck. It's kind of like I feel a bit overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. How can I best overcome this, or just take one little step at a time?
Well, I sort of went through the same thing when I had my trio of joy, which I laugh at now, but at the time it really wasn't very good.
Right.
And really the thing is when problems occur, when you run into them, you're going to be upset. It's a natural reaction. We all have it. And the thing is when you're upset, your ability to see solutions diminishes. So it's important to move from what I call negative thinking to helpful thinking. Okay. Because problems will not make you think, oh, well, I'm going to be fine, it'll be great. Mainly it's because you don't have the information to feel that you can deal with this, it'll be okay, you can handle it. And that's what I found. I didn't have the information I needed that I thought, oh, look, I've got the information, I know how to handle this problem, it'll be fine. And I think when you have the information, when you know what to do, problems don't affect you as much negatively, because you think, okay, this has gone wrong, but that's okay, things have gone wrong before, I know what to do. And I think that helps when you feel like you've got the information you need, and that's what I sort of accumulated when I wrote the book. One review called it it's like the Reader's Digest of self-help. So I just wanted to get as much information I can about problem solving. There's a lot of other stuff in those self-help books, but the problem solving was what I was having problems with. So if you can sort of find the right information for what you need, problems just don't seem as overwhelming. Mm-hmm. It's like, just say your car breaks down. Here in Australia, we have a service. If your car breaks down, you're not going to be all, oh, what's going to happen to me? You just call here it's the NRMA, and they come and fix it. So you don't feel as distressed because you know what to do. But it's when you don't know what to do, you feel distressed and upset and negative, and that's what causes it. And so it's important to sort of figure out what information do I need to find this problem. And if you believe that you're going to solve it, and this may sound silly, but there were some problems where I had no idea how I was going to solve it. I really didn't, but I knew that I would find the information and solve it, and I did. Okay. And that's another important thing, to believe in yourself that you will get through, you will find what you need. It sort of comes to you, and this sounds a little bit wishy-washy, and I know Ron's written about this in his Being book. It's sort of the universe will bring to you what you want.
You're right.
And if you want to solve the problem, if your focus is on, I know I can solve this, I will look for information I need, I will get help, I will talk to people, the universe brings you the resources, which is what happened to me when I formed this book. It wasn't even meant to be a book. The universe just brought me these authors and this information. So this is sort of, see what I mean by that?
I do. I absolutely do. I think sometimes instead of me just getting stuck and being overwhelmed, I need to, as you said, I need to say I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know I'm going to do it, and then just start doing it, because nobody else is going to swoop in it. I mean, there will be people to help, don't get me wrong, but I need to start doing it, and once I do, then I'll get momentum and go on. I absolutely agree with that. You have to change your perception and say, I can do this. I don't know how, but right now I'm going to focus on this corner, and everything else is not important now. Or this closet.
Yeah, I love the phrase where I found out that even if the only thing you can do for a problem is change your thinking, then work on that. So even with any problem, if all you can do is change your thinking, you work on it. You are working towards a solution.
Right, absolutely, because if you change your perception, then you allow the solution to come through, as you said. Wow, that's great.
Exactly.
Very informative.
Exactly right, exactly.
Thank you.
All right.
You so
much. Lovely
Thanks
talking.
for the
Have a
call.
wonderful.
You too. See, that's the problem too. When we blame other people for the or circumstances for our current situation, we never really get down to the true problem. It's very easy. The ego begs for us to make life situations a little more palatable by pushing the blame onto other people. But as we do that, we never get down to truth. And if we don't get to truth, we'll never get to the solve the problem. If you don't realize you're sick, you'll never seek out a cure.
Well, actually, that was one of the. Sorry.
I said that's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You were. I hadn't finished yet. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Yep. No, I was just going to say that one of the tips is called the own tip, and it really shocked me because I actually thought I was taking responsibility for my life and my problems. But when I realized and I read about what authors said about taking responsibility, I was absolutely shocked because now when I have a problem, first thing I ask myself is, how did I create this problem? What decisions did I make? What choices in the past brought me to this problem? I don't even bother blaming anyone else. Even if someone else causes the problem, that's not where my focus is. I can figure out how did I get here by what I did. And I always figure out from that how I got out. And that's the own tip in the book. And that tip really shocked me, but it stuck very quickly to me when I realized what it was about. I stopped blaming. I have stopped blaming so easily. It doesn't even bother me if someone else causes the problem. I know I can solve it.
Now, there's 4 tools that you talk about in the book. What are the 4 tools?
Yep. There's the defined tip. I sort of call them tips more than tools because they're not actually physical tools. Defined tip is really important because it says it asks you to see it as it is, not worse than it is. And often, when you have a problem and you're negative, you sort of blow things out of proportion because of the negativity. So that's an important one. And then the own tip, which I just told you about, is where by actually owning the problem, you actually have the power to solve it. It's just like ownership of anything gives you power. Like, you own 10 cars or 10 houses, you have more power than someone that owns nothing. And it's the same with problems. And you may think owning a problem, you don't want to own a problem. But ironically, when you own it, when you say, hey, how did I get myself here, you can see how to get yourself out. And the next one is a truth tip. Now, that tip is it's a little bit more challenging because it actually asks you, what role do you play in this problem? And people, especially if someone else causes it, they don't want to think they're part of it. They just want it to disappear. But if it's affecting you, then you're part of the problem. And that's great because if you're part of the problem, you can obviously be part of the solution. So the truth tip shows you how you are part of the problem. And my favorite actually is the balance tip. And I love this tip because it reminds me that I'm on a life journey. And when I look at my problems in perspective to my life journey and that journey is going to end one day, I definitely sort out the big and little problems. So they're the 4 tips that sort of got me on the right track to sort of dealing with them a lot more effectively and not being so obsessed with them.
Don't you believe that problems, though, at the same time create your destiny? In other words, if problems didn't happen, for instance, had everything not gone wrong for you, you never would have written this book. And it's sort of like everything comes full circle. And I believe, like the woman who just called in, and maybe she really doesn't want to move now, but you know what? Maybe life is pushing her into another direction. And so sometimes instead of fighting problems and being distressed, maybe you should take it that maybe life is just trying, or destiny is trying to move you in the correct direction.
Yeah, move you along.
Yeah, well, I agree with you totally. Problems are there to teach us a lesson. They're there to tell us something. Either it's wrong or we're not moving in the right direction. Or as you say, I'm sorry, I love your book, Being. We're not doing everything we can do to be the perfect people we are. So sometimes problems push us towards to be who we are. As you say, to be all that we're created to be. And that's a good thing about problems. Actually, there's one question that's in the book, and people go, this is not going to help people. Take it out of the book. And it's whenever I have a problem, especially one that's really upsetting me, I ask, what's good about this problem? And you think, well, that's a stupid question. There's nothing good about this problem. But there is. It's amazing. And looking back, I mean, losing my job was the best thing that ever happened to me. I would be here talking to you.
I like that.
So really problems are sort of like, they're helping us in a way. I mean, they don't leave us with great feelings, but the thing is, if you take notice of what they're trying to tell you, then you will grow and you will become a different person, or the person you're meant to be, as opposed to avoiding them and shrinking. And I think that it's important to realize that they're like anything else in our lives. They're there for a purpose. And fortunately, you're always going to have them. So don't worry, they're coming.
Yeah, very true, very true. You know, I look back and when I had my business, and I got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore, and I was like, well, you know, it's always been very lucrative. It afforded me a certain amount of freedom. I really liked the relationship aspect of it, building relationships with my clients or customers, and developing a team, which is almost like a family in that microcosm of the business itself. But it got to the point where it kept trying to push me out. It got me out of my comfort zone, and it was pushing me towards who I really am, who I was meant to be. And without that turmoil, without the betrayals that were involved, without the economic issues that arose, I wouldn't be here today doing what I love to do.
Exactly. They're important, even though they're annoying and you don't want to have them. But they drive you. Sure. They drive you forward sometimes, where you would just sit back and cruise.
Yeah. So you know, we have to have and I found in that time also that I found myself kind of feeling like I was in a nothingness and wanting to look for different ways to make the time go by. I didn't fit there anymore. It was time to move on.
I have to say I've experienced the same thing, because I've been a teaching tennis professional since I can remember. I've never been without a job, and I just recently lost my job. And even though I've held a job, in the last few years, I haven't been happy in what I've been doing. And so now that I'm not with that job, it's like, yes, it's a problem. I'm not making any money at the moment. But at the same time, it has enabled me, because now I have the time to work on what I truly wanted to do. Because there's nothing worse than, and I know there are hundreds of thousands of people around the world doing this, but there's nothing worse than being in a job or in a relationship that you're not happy in, going to work every day and not being happy, going home to a husband or wife that you're not happy with anymore. And we do that. We get stuck. And so, like I said, we get stuck and we don't want to solve the problem. And I love your 4 points. And I mean, I think it's great. And I look forward to reading your book.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we're going to have to take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Elizabeth
Yes, we need some single
Hanley. Right after these messages. Hold tight, everyone.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. The Intuitive Life Coach takes a metaphysical approach to life coaching, identifying root issues, accessing key problems, and formulating a highly effective approach and resolution. Through proven coaching techniques, the Intuitive Life Coach will help you to move confidently in the direction of your dreams. Author, counselor, teacher Ron Ash is the Intuitive Life Coach. Call 424-777-LAWS or connect online at theintuitivelifecoach.me.
All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair on Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel, Warwick, Rhode Island, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The event features Sherry Lord, International Channel, Sheila Marie, Forensic Psychic Medium, CBS Radio's Behind the Paranormal with Paul and Ben Eno, ghost tours, psychic readings, group readings, and more. All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair, Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Visit allhallowsevepsychicfair.com.
Reach out and communicate with your loved ones on Earth and in spirit via Diane Gian Lorenzo. Join Diane Gian Lorenzo, Spirit Communicator for Humans and Animals, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Bean Talk Radio Network. Accurate, therapeutic, healing. Call Diane Gian Lorenzo, Pet Psychic, at 386-308-1356 or visit DianeGianLorenzo.com.
All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair on Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel, Warwick, Rhode Island, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The event features Sherry Lord, International Channel, Sheila Marie, Forensic Psychic Medium, CBS Radio's Behind the Paranormal with Paul and Ben Eno, ghost tours, psychic readings, group readings, and more. All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair, Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Visit allhallowsevepsychicfair.com.
Psychic medium Catherine Glass has a delightfully pleasing, empathetic approach that significantly contributes to her ability to advise, heal, and guide. Allow Catherine Glass to help you resolve life's issues through spirit communication, psychic intuitive readings, or reconnective healing. Be inspired by Catherine Glass Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Being Talk Radio Network. Counselor, healer, teacher, Catherine Glass. Psychic medium, 978-369-9228 or catherineglass.com.
Westside Yoga is the premier yoga center committed to the integration of body, mind, and inner spirit. Whether you choose to participate in a single class for $10 or sign up for 2 weeks of unlimited classes for $35, Westside Yoga will help increase flexibility, alleviate stress, and improve memory and balance. Westside Yoga, 511 Broadway, Providence, Rhode Island. Visit westsideyogari.com or call 401-228-POSE. Westside Yoga, Yogana. Feel great.
Bridge the gap between Earth and the spiritual plane of existence. Join author and psychic medium Joseph Labruto III on a multi-dimensional journey of transformation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Being with Ron Ash. Communicate with a deceased loved one, the Ascended Masters, spirit guides, angels, and other spiritual beings, or ask Joseph about your career, relationship, or life path. There is more to life than what we know. Find the answers at www.psychicmediumjoseph.com.
Do you have a special gift that you'd like to share with the world? Then consider broadcasting your message on BTRN. The Being Talk Radio Network is local, national, and international broadcasting with powerful programs that enlighten minds and change lives. BTRN hosts are passionate about purpose, motivating listeners to confidently move forward in the direction of their dreams. To host a show on BTRN, call 401-640-GIFT. Become a part of the Being Talk Radio Network today and contribute to positive change tomorrow. We are BTRN, the Being Talk Radio Network.
Experience the power of being. Join author and intuitive life counselor Ron Ash on an infinite journey of enlightenment. Being explores the various modalities associated with self-help and spirituality. Master divine guidance, connect to source energy, and expand your consciousness. For a complete list of our affiliate stations and showtimes, visit beingwithronash.com.
Welcome back. That's Eric Peterson and his title, Rainbow. You can connect with Eric Peterson and all of our guests, past, present, and future, at beingwithronash.com. You're Being with Ron Ash, Elizabeth Hanley, and Sean Bianca. Today we're talking about Elizabeth's book, No Problem, How to Focus on Solutions. I love the way the book is set up because not only is it very well outlined, but it also has some great cartoons, images in there as well that exemplify the points that you're trying to make. How did you come to this design of the internals of this book?
Oh, basically, as I said, I just collected all my notes, and there were a lot, and I just tried to figure out how to group them. Mm-hmm. And once I grouped them into the tips, I basically tried, I love illustrations because to me they sort of stick to my mind a lot better.
Yeah.
So I tried to find illustrations that illustrated the sort of important points in the tip, because then you sort of tend to remember something that's got an illustration with it a lot easier than words.
Mm-hmm. And there's also questions with like a workbook type of thing at the end of the chapters throughout the book to help you really figure out what direction you're going in, what you need to work on.
I didn't just want it to be a book on theory, like just information and advice. And so the first part of the book is about what the best advice is, and it's under the 4 tips. And the second part is actually it takes you through the 4 tips, and you can work through your problem in it. So you actually can physically start solving a problem. Mm-hmm. I didn't just want it to be reading and then you think, well, now what? Yeah. So after reading, and it's a very quick read. It's only about the first half's about 90 pages. And then after that, there's a problem-solving guide, and you actually go through the tips with questions. And they're very powerful questions. They're questions you probably wouldn't normally ask yourself, mm-hmm. and which is what is something that I've discovered, that I now ask myself very different questions when a problem comes along than I used to. I stopped saying, oh, whose fault it is, why is this happening to me? Because mm-hmm. that never leads to solutions. More questions like, okay, so what can I do to fix this? I mean, this person's not going to help me, so what can I do? Or, what information do I need to find? And things like that. So the questions in the guide will help you work through the tips and hopefully help you see the problem differently. And through seeing things differently, we often find solutions.
Yeah,
that's a good point, because I'm very visual. And so that would be perfect for me, writing down, answering questions, writing down exactly what's going on, and then seeing it on paper. And I can see where that would be very helpful. And then you look at it, it's like, aha, this is what I need to do. So that's very good, very helpful.
It helps to identify the problems. Here's a question right here. What negative thoughts are making me unhappy about my problem? Negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions, these are things that are actually at the root of the creation of what we're experiencing, because we create things in our lives, and then later on we have to experience the fruition of those feelings and emotions that created that. We manifest things in our lives continually, whether it's what we want or what we don't want, but we have to live through the consequences of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions which created our experience.
Yes, exactly. We don't often realize, because when we have a problem, it's natural to be negative. Mm-hmm. We can't help it. It's what we'll do, but we don't realize that the longer we stay in that negative frame of mind, the more we manifest more negative things. So it is so important to move from that negative state to a helpful state. Even if you don't know how you're going to solve it, get yourself out of that and say, look, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. It'll be okay. And that's what I hope this book will do for people, get them out of that negative state of mind so they can start manifesting positive things to come to them.
Yeah. What am I grateful for in my life today? I love that, because gratitude is really key. That's really the base of our foundation for building our lives and getting away from those problems that are plaguing us. We have to concentrate on what is great right now rather than what is not exactly as we want it to be.
Focus on the positive.
Yeah.
When you're grateful, and you realize how much you have to be grateful for, you put the problem more in perspective, and the negative effect of the problem tends to go down. And this helps you because it brings you towards more helpful thinking. And ironically, it brings you more towards how you can solve the problem, because you're changing your state of mind from being downtrodden, feeling like everything's not going your way, to looking at what you're grateful for, changing your state into a more positive state, which brings more positive energy to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the heart or soul is actually 5,000 times more powerful than the mind. So it's one thing when you think something in your head, because you can kind of change your thought patterns rather quickly, but the feelings that are associated with that, wow, that's really where the power is. That's really where we start pushing that energy in that direction. I often use the analogy of a swimming pool. When we were kids, we used to have a little swimming pool. We used to make whirlpools, so we would all stand in one direction and keep moving, and eventually that water would move in that same direction, and then sooner or later that energy would be so powerful that we could just lay back and the energy would take us.
Yes, that was in your book. I read about
that. See, I gave you a visual, Sean, Bianca.
Yes, you did. Absolutely. And putting your heart and soul into something is truly what's needed, and in anything, and in terms of career and in terms of relationships, and just giving absolutely everything that you have. And if you do things halfway, you come out with a halfway result.
Mm-hmm. Or if you're moving in all different directions, picture yourself in that pool again with, say, 5 of your closest friends, and everybody decides, wait a second, I'm going to stand still, I'm going to go this way, I'm going to go counterclockwise, this one's going clockwise. What's going to happen? It's turmoil. You don't know where, your energy's just unfocused. And this goes back to the book, how to focus on solution. We need to focus on the solution, and we need to stay that course, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay,
well, Elizabeth would know best. You're the problem solver.
Actually, I have to tell you something. When I was researching for the book, I found this quote, and I love it. It's at the time it really I could relate to it, and it said, "I'm not crazy about reality, but it's still the only place to get a decent meal." And that was Groucho Marx. I thought that was great. I mean, I thought, my problems are, they may be here, but at least I can get a decent meal here as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what would you like to leave our listeners with today, Elizabeth?
Well, basically, hopefully they will try at least to get the information they need, or try to look at things differently. And this is the way to solution. Try to get out of that the initial negative effect that problems have on you. Mm-hmm. And this is the most powerful thing that will push you forward into solutions. And if they want to have a better look at the book, it's on Amazon, so they can have a look in there and see what it's all about. There's some reviews on there, whatever, so they'll get a taste of the book there. But I really hope that people can do that, because I really loved your book, and it is all about us being who we were created to be. Mm-hmm. And that's what hopefully that people can move towards life to get the sort of life that they want. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for the compliment on my book.
That's all right.
The name of the book is No Problem, E.M. Hanley, Elizabeth Hanley, How to Focus on Solutions, available at Amazon. You can connect with Elizabeth, like you can connect with all of our guests, past, present, and future, at beingwithronash.com. Sean and I will be back right after the break. Hold tight. We'll see you in a few.
Experience the power of being. Join author and intuitive life counselor Ron Ash on an infinite journey of enlightenment. Being explores the various modalities associated with self-help and spirituality. Master divine guidance. Connect to source energy and expand your consciousness. For a complete list of our affiliate stations and showtimes, visit beingwithronash.com.
Rhode Island Natural Awakenings magazine is the perfect resource for those seeking a healthy, natural lifestyle. In every free monthly publication, you'll find practical, cutting-edge information on natural health, nutrition, personal growth, green living, creative expression, and more. Find Natural Awakenings wherever free magazines are found. Read it online at rinaturalawakenings.com or call 401-709-2473. Feel good, live simply, laugh more. Rhode Island Natural Awakenings magazine.
Benchmark Properties says, why pay your landlord's mortgage? Interest rates are low. Now's the time to buy. Benchmark Properties has the answers you've been looking for and knows the best way to sell in today's market. Whether you want to buy, sell, or explore alternatives to foreclosure, the Benchmark team of qualified professionals can help. Call 401-861-2777 for a free consultation and market analysis on your property. Visit Benchmark Properties online at benchmark-sells.com.
All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair on Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel, Warwick, Rhode Island, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The event features Sherry Lord, International Channel, Sheila Marie, Forensic Psychic Medium, CBS Radio's Behind the Paranormal with Paul and Ben Eno, ghost tours, psychic readings, group readings, and more. All Hallows Eve Psychic Fair, Sunday, October 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Visit allhallowsevepsychicfair.com.
Are you interested in promoting yourself, your business, or your platform? If so, you should contact RMA Associates for the most cost-effective ways to promote what you do. RMA has over 25 years of experience helping their clients grow while meeting the challenges of an ever-changing market. Email RMA today at rma.associates@yahoo.com for more information. Again, that's rma.associates@yahoo.com.
Capture the essence of the moment. Discover the possibilities for your future. The Tarot Life Coach uses an ancient form of counseling known as the Tarot to help you find the answers to life's many questions from an intuitive, spiritual perspective. Join psychic medium Tanya Melendez for the Tarot Life Coach, Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Being Talk Radio Network. Romance, career, finance. Find the answers at www.tarotlifecoach.com.
Are you seeking guidance and clarity in your life? Internationally known psychic medium Sherry Hobson can guide you to a brighter future. Access your Akashic records revealing soul patterns that will help enable you to change your life, or connect to your angelic guidance, spirit guides, or those who have crossed over. Schedule your private session today at 760-521-2027 or at sherryhobson.com.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. The Intuitive Life Coach takes a metaphysical approach to life coaching, identifying root issues, accessing key problems, and formulating a highly effective approach and resolution. Through proven coaching techniques, the Intuitive Life Coach will help you to move confidently in the direction of your dreams. Author, counselor, teacher Ron Ash is the Intuitive Life Coach. Call 424-777-LAWS or connect online at theintuitivelifecoach.me.
Westside Yoga is the premier yoga center, committed to the integration of body, mind, and inner spirit. Whether you choose to participate in a single class for $10 or sign up for 2 weeks of unlimited classes for $35, Westside Yoga will help increase flexibility, alleviate stress, and improve memory and balance. Westside Yoga, 511 Broadway, Providence, Rhode Island. Visit westsideyogari.com or call 401-228-POSE. Westside Yoga, Yogana. Feel great.
True knowledge evokes wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge in practice. Selective knowledge facilitates error. In spirit is truth. Darshini in Spirit will help you find the answers you seek. Darshini sees. Internationally renowned clairvoyant and spiritual guide Darshini has a refreshingly honest and candid style that contributes greatly to her ability to counsel, heal, and guide. Motivational speaker, author, teacher. Experience Darshini in Spirit at 714-348-9994. Visit darshini-inspirit.com.
Do you have a special gift that you'd like to share with the world? Then consider broadcasting your message on BTRN. The Being Talk Radio Network is local, national, and international broadcasting with powerful programs that enlighten minds and change lives. BTRN hosts are passionate about purpose, motivating listeners to confidently move forward in the direction of their dreams. To host a show on BTRN, call 401-640-GIFT. Become a part of the Being Talk Radio Network today and contribute to positive change tomorrow. We are BTRN, the Being Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back. That's Stacey Davidson bringing us back from break with her title, Everything Is About You, from her album, Narrow Gate. You can connect with Stacey and all of our guests, past, present, and future, at beingwithronash.com. That's beingwithronash.com. We are talking about no problems, how to focus on solutions. A fascinating topic and really applies to so many areas in our lives, I really love these questions, Sean, as I'm looking through more and more. What is good about my problem? How do you think
that is a good question.
Apply to your relationship if you're really looking at it, right, as a lesson?
Absolutely. No, I believe every problem has something that some good can come out of. Mm-hmm. And that you can learn from. And I think that's a great way of looking at it. If you look at problems in a positive way, then it'll help you all the more to turn things around. Mm-hmm. So I love the way Elizabeth has put things.
Yeah. You'll love this book. What can I learn from my problem? That's another great thing to look into, because they're all little lessons and they all move us along.
Exactly.
Onto our path. Even sometimes we talk about things. Oh, that was just such a big waste of time. I remember being in that situation years ago, and I went to go look at. I had a center, creative cultural center, open, and it was in an area that was pretty noisy, and I wanted someplace a little more quiet. So one of the members of the center said, that they're selling a a Masonic temple in Scituate Village, which is like a quaint little quiet little village. People walk around and stop in at different shops and things. So I went up there to go look at it and saw that it was changed a lot. And I said, well, maybe it would be interesting to see what it originally looked like. So I walked across the street and I talked to a couple of people, and they said, actually, they have a picture at the library in Scituate right now on display. I guess the owners of the photo are letting them borrow it. And I said, well, let's take a ride over there and we'll go check it out. And just like Elizabeth was saying about, being in front of these 100 or so self-help books, I found myself at a table with a bunch of the book sale was $1 books. You ever go to a $1 book sale? Pretty cool.
No, I haven't.
I looked down at the ground, and there was a box of metaphysical books.
Oh, wow.
So my sister and I actually, bent down and picked up a couple, and, we bought a few. And in the car on the way back, she's like, Ronnie, you got to look at this book. This guy sounds just like you. It was an ascended master named Kadumi, and she's like, it's like reading you. The personality, the philosophy of life. And, I picked up the book. I took it home. I couldn't put it down. I was astounded. It was almost as if, well, it was exactly that. I was being led to information that I needed to move on, and then all these different connections were made, and it's all part of, our life. It's given us the tools that we need to move forward. And you talk on your blog a lot about the various relationships that you've experienced, and there were all lessons in those too, right?
Oh, exactly. I think every relationship you come out, and I'll never forget, I read an article, and Jennifer Aniston was asked whose fault her divorce with Brad Pitt was, and she said that someone told her, even if it's 10% her fault, it always takes 2. And it may be 90% the other person, it may be 10% the other person, but still there was a good 10%. And I believe in relationships, both people are definitely to fault. And yes, there may be one more than the other, but I've learned so much. And, at the time, like when Elizabeth was talking about how, she lost her job and her boyfriend wasn't calling. And you know what? Obviously, there was someone better out there. And I think when so many men and women lose a relationship, they are in the moment of, oh, I've lost this person. And instead, I think it's good to look at, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better in the next relationship? And if it was meant to be, you'd still be with that person. And that's the way I kind of look at it. And because I know where I've, what I've done wrong in different relationships, and I know what I've done right. But I think you can definitely learn from problems and what you do wrong in life and turn it into a positive.
Yeah, we learn different things from the experience, the good experience as well as the bad experiences, and some things, may not necessarily be true, but they're true for us. Like, for example, I had some issues with the relationship where the girl had a lot of very close friends, and I found myself constantly in a situation where I didn't even know if I was dealing with her or if I was dealing with all of her friends.
That's funny. I had a friend that used to do that. She used to bring all of her girlfriends on the date with her.
Wow.
And as a guy,
I would have rather
had
that. At least I would know where the information's coming from. I would encourage that.
But as a guy, I mean, you have to think, okay, can I be with this girl at least once, once or twice alone? And, I mean, that has to be difficult. And, I mean, I would say that relationship didn't last, correct?
Yeah, my issue was more or less that, she wasn't using her heart, using her mind. I was getting information. Oh, she was making decisions based on what her girlfriends were saying, but they did not have the whole story. They only had bits and pieces. And they were giving advice based on their experiences. And everybody's experiences in different circumstances are different.
You're absolutely right. And you know what? So many times women do that where they only tell part of the story. They only tell the part of the story that they want their girlfriends to hear.
Oh, yeah.
And
big problem.
I mean, I know. I've at times I've done it myself. And my mother, when I was younger, she would hear me on the phone and she'd say, "Now, wait a minute. You left out this part." You're not giving her exactly. And I mean, I'm sure guys at the same time do the same thing because we want to paint ourselves better than we are, of course. And that we are not the problem, possibly. And you always have to tell the whole kit and caboodle. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people, Elizabeth, when she mentioned owning it, you need to own it, and you need to own it in relationships. You need to own what you did wrong in order to move forward.
And forgive ourselves for it. We have to forgive ourselves for it. And it applies to so many other things, not just relationships. And I wrote about this in my first book, that many times we tell other people in our lives, just our side of the story, or we paint a very poor picture of the individual that may be our partner in romance, finance, or business, or what have you, and they are basing their advice on those half-truths or lies. So guess what? When we find ourselves in that situation, we always get the wrong advice, and we will continue on that wrong path. We really have to build our house on a rock as opposed to sand, and when we do that, we start to believe those falsities, and the people around us give us advice based on those falsities, and when you get false information, you make false decisions, and you create a larger problem.
Absolutely. There's no way to fix it. I mean, unless you're willing to own it and take responsibility, you can't fix the problem. That's the bottom line. In anything, in business, in friendships, in family relationships, and in relationships. But at the same time, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. We're not perfect, and we do need to not be so hard on ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And bury ourselves because we did something wrong in terms of business or a relationship, because burying ourselves isn't going to cause productivity.
No, we need to forgive ourselves, learn from it, and move on. Very important.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know for myself, I kind of, it was funny because Elizabeth said we can't just, live like in the past and blame other people. And I'm divorced, and I did, it's not, I guess I blamed my ex-husband for the fact that I married him because he portrayed himself to be this, near perfect guy and this guy that I wanted. And when push came to shove, after I married him, he wasn't the person I thought he was. And you know what? I knew that a month before I married him, and I still made the choice.
It did make it
So
different.
I have to own it.
Sean, Bianca, I'd rather be single for now. You've been Being with Ron Ash on the Being Talk Radio Network. We'll see you all on the radio real soon. And as always, you can learn about all of our guests, past, present, and future, at beingwithronash.com.
Special gift that you'd like to share with the world? Then consider broadcasting your message on BTRN. The Being Talk Radio Network is local, national, and international broadcasting with powerful programs that enlighten minds and change lives. BTRN hosts are passionate about purpose, motivating listeners to confidently move forward in the direction of their dreams. To host a show on BTRN, call 401-640-GIFT. Become a part of the Being Talk Radio Network today and contribute to positive change tomorrow. We are BTRN, the Being Talk Radio Network.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. The Intuitive Life Coach takes a metaphysical approach to life coaching, identifying root issues, accessing key problems, and formulating a highly effective approach and resolution. Through proven coaching techniques, the Intuitive Life Coach will help you to move confidently in the direction of your dreams. Author, counselor, teacher Ron Ash is the Intuitive Life Coach. Call 424-777-LAWS or connect online at theintuitivelifecoach.me.
Psychic medium Catherine Glass has a delightfully pleasing, empathetic approach that significantly contributes to her ability to advise, heal, and guide. Allow Catherine Glass to help you resolve life's issues through spirit communication, psychic intuitive readings, or reconnective healing. Be inspired by Catherine Glass Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Being Talk Radio Network. Counselor, healer, teacher, Catherine Glass. Psychic medium, 978-369-9228 or catherineglass.com.
Bridge the gap between Earth and the spiritual plane of existence. Join author and psychic medium Joseph Labruto III on a multi-dimensional journey of transformation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Being with Ron Ash. Communicate with a deceased loved one, the Ascended Masters, spirit guides, angels, and other spiritual beings. Or ask Joseph about your career, relationship, or life path. There is more to life than what we know. Find the answers at www.psychicmediumjoseph.com.
Reach out and communicate with your loved ones on Earth and in spirit via Diane Gian Lorenzo. Join Diane Gian Lorenzo, spirit communicator for humans and animals, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Being Talk Radio Network. Accurate, therapeutic, healing. Call Diane Gian Lorenzo, Pet Psychic, at 386-308-1356 or visit DianeGianLorenzo.com.
Capture the essence of the moment. Discover the possibilities for your future. The Tarot Life Coach uses an ancient form of counseling known as the Tarot to help you find the answers to life's many questions from an intuitive, spiritual perspective. Join psychic medium Tanya Melendez for the Tarot Life Coach, Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Being Talk Radio Network. Romance, career, finance. Find the answers at www.tarotlifecoach.com.
Are you seeking guidance and clarity in your life? Internationally known psychic medium Sherry Hobson can guide you to a brighter future. Access your Akashic records revealing soul patterns that will help enable you to change your life. Or connect to your angelic guidance, spirit guides, or those who have crossed over. Schedule your private session today at 760-521-2027 or at sherryhobson.com.
True knowledge evokes wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge in practice. Selective knowledge facilitates error. In spirit is truth. Darshini in Spirit will help you find the answers you seek. Darshini sees. internationally renowned clairvoyant and spiritual guide Darshini has a refreshingly honest and candid style that contributes greatly to her ability to counsel, heal, and guide. Motivational speaker, author, teacher. Experience Darshini in spirit at 714-348-9994. Visit darshini-inspirit.com.
Experience the power of being. Join author and intuitive life counselor Ron Ash on an infinite journey of enlightenment. Being explores the various modalities associated with self-help and spirituality. Master divine guidance, connect to source energy, and expand your consciousness. For a complete list of our affiliate stations and showtimes, visit beingwithronash.com.